Now, this whole show has always been and always will be about the Borble, the one of the best dogs on earth. So we go always going to hold the dog high, as in very high regard. We love the dogs like that. We feel that they deserve a lot of respect. They have contributed so much to our lives that we feel that it's something that you got to go tell everybody about. I mean, it's enhanced my journey. It's contributed. It's been there for me when I was doing bad, when I was feeling sad, when I was down to my last, when I was on my, you know what I'm saying? That's how the dogs have been. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change. They don't change. They consistent. Even when people haven't been there, dogs have been there for me. And because of that, I feel indebted to the dog. Because of that, I am a very loyal person. And when you do something for me, I want to do something, give something back. It's just like, because that's the way that the world should be, in my opinion, the way that I feel. We should all be trying to help one another. And so but that's just not the way that it's going to go. But when somebody does help me, or when something does help me, I cherish it, because you're not going to come across that every day. You're not going to come across that every day. So with that being said, we're trying to pick you up, help you with your relationship with your dog, enhance your relationship with your dog. And then because of that, you're going to go farther. You're going to become a better person. You're going to have less stress, right? If you don't have a healthy relationship with your dog, you're going to go through things like my friend who was calling me a little bit earlier, and I'll show you today. I'll show you the video where she hit me up. Y'all seen the young lady on the thing on the videos before, on some of our long videos, right? And what did she? She's having some issues with the dog that she had, and she was crying, man. She was sad to death. And it's really sad. It's tragic because she loves the dog, but now she's going through some things, and this all could have been avoided. It could have been easily avoided had she a better understanding of, first of all, or expectation of what was to come. Okay, and I don't know if it's fair for me to share, but I won't, so I won't. But she was really sad and doing bad. She said, this is her crying and stuff. I'll just let y'all hear the voice. This is your sign not to get a female fucking Marvel. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not funny, it's sad. She said this is a sign to not to get a female Borble. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and the dog had pooped under her bed. Okay? So she was sad. She's crying, tears in her eyes, everything. Going through it. And who wants to go through that? You want to have a great relationship. If your dog understands that that is completely unacceptable and severe consequences, that's going to lead to some severe consequences that no dog want to suffer. Disappointing the leader, disappointing. But when your dog doesn't respect you as the leader, then there's no fear of disappointment. There's no issue with breaking the rules. There is no respect for the rules. There is no rules. And that's part of the problem. That's what we want to understand. When you get into a Borble, when you get into this any powerful dog breed that could be dominant, it has to respect you as a wolf. So that means you can treat it like a dog, or it has to respect you as the top dog. So in order for it to respect you as a top dog, you got to treat it like a dog. If you don't treat it like a dog, if you treat it like anything other than a dog, that's mistreatment. If you mistreat me, I'm not going to respect you. That's nature. If you mistreat the dog is not going to respect you. If you mistreat your dog, I'm not going to respect you. And that's how I am as a dog man and a dog lover. Listen, I expect Exotic Borble Familia. Y'all know how we do. I don't even got to explain to y'all. But there's some guys out here, some people out here that ain't taking care of their dogs. They don't take care of their dogs. They not doing what they need to do. and I want to help you. I want to arm you with information. I want to enhance your relationship because at the end of the day, your dog is suffering. And there you go. Hurricane Borbo said it good too. It matter male or female. I'm gonna show the comment. I don't think that it matter male or female. You have to establish the alpha. We tend to think of alpha as dominant. We think of alpha as forceful, right? That's just a lack of understanding because truly leadership is not about force. Leadership is not about being dominant. What leadership is about being qualified and to you want to follow the leader, natural leaders, right? It's not some kind of assumed role. It's not something that could be granted. You earn your respect with the dog by treating it like a dog. How do you do that? Through your communication styles, right? Through your body language, through your voice tones, establishing boundaries. There's certain things that you can and cannot do. And if you do it, it's not a compromise. There's going to be consequences. This is just the way that dogs work. This is the way that life is. And we tend to make excuses. And that's what losers do. And dogs is natural winners. We're trying to help you take care of your dogs better. We're trying to help you enhance your relationship. We're trying to keep you safe from getting hurt. We don't want them. Now, a lot of these dogs, Fifi dogs, talk about is doing serious damage, causing cosmetic surgery, catastrophic, life-changing injuries to your face, life-changing injuries to these owners. And it doesn't matter. These are smaller dogs, right? So it doesn't really matter that the fact that the dog's jaws is designed to tear flesh and tissue from the bone. Our skin is soft. We don't have hides. All other animals have hides. So the dog's teeth are designed by nature to penetrate a hide. Leather. Think about that, leather. We don't have a chance. Your face is not set on the dog's fangs. Keep your face out of a dog's face. And I know we love our dogs. I want to show y'all this picture. The lady, right? And I will use my phone to show you. But all too often, we are not conscious, mindful, and aware of our dog's mind state. Remember, we are trying to keep the dog calm, cool, smooth. There's nothing to be alarmed about. There's nothing to be afraid of. You don't have to be looking for no fight. Everything is all right. Keep your head cool, dude. Just chill, sit back, relax. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. I'm going to tell you where we're about to go. I'm going to tell you what to do next. Just sit back and relax. My G, I got this. I'm going to help you, right? And because when your dog has faith in you as a leader, when the dog, he will follow you to the end of the world. He want to be right there by your side. He wants to be a good citizen. They want to be well behaved. They want, just like we do, they want to fit in, and we should be trying to be helpful. I can't show you all this off my phone because I got the picture on my phone. Hold on, though. I'm gonna still show you. But this lady, they got her face bit off that I showed y'all the other day. Maybe I could still pull it up. Hold up. Bro, dog. King of the South in this. What's up, broski? You know how we do, man. I'm just back here just kicking off a little knowledge, trying to, bring everybody up to speed. You feel me? I just want to see us all win, man. That's all. I just want to see us all win. And because the breed is surging in popularity, We is at risk. And we don't want to go to ride no pit bulls and some of these other breeds that's facing this breed specific legislation where your insurance rate done went sky high. You hear me? Man, that's what I'm gonna do. Just tell them the truth, man. I'm just gonna tell the truth. Hey, well, your insurance rate done went sky high, and now everybody is fearful of the new dog in the neighborhood, and they telling everybody to watch out and look, be on the lookout. Hey, that dude got that dog down there, and it's a dangerous dog. And hey, they got their finger on the trigger right every time they in and out the house. You don't want that. You want to keep it cool. You want everybody to understand your dog is a very well respected dog. Like I'm out here in the streets with my dogs off the leash all the time. And you see it ain't no faking with me because you see it on my videos, right? You see me in the videos off leash, and I feel like because that's the way that the dog should be. And a lot of animals really should be off leash, but you got to have complete control. You got to have a great understanding in order to do that. Yeah, brother. And you can do it too. And if you want to do it like we do it, how we do, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to tell you. It starts with this understanding of what a dog is, his role, and my role as the top dog, as the big dog, as the board dog. Hey, listen, I'm just saying it's going to be, you don't want to see the Borbles because I'm going to tell y'all something already. I'm going to tell y'all something that a lot of people might not understand. The Borbo's got this retriever, like, like they innocent, like they baby, like they just so cool and cute. And they beautiful dogs and they look good. We love them. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you the realest thing that I ever know. The Borbo got an intensity and a ferocity that will blow your mind if you have never experienced it, if you wasn't ready, if you don't believe that that dog has got all the muscles for no reason. If he built like that for no reason, it's gonna blow you. You ain't gonna be ready with that intensity because they go to snatch your stuff up and they got power like no other dog breed. Like no other dog breed is so. It's just so special. The Borbo is. And I'm gonna build you up the best way that I can. We're gonna all benefit because I want to see us all win. We're going up, we're going through the roof, to the moon with this. So getting into these boundaries, you gotta have a just that the dog cannot go. He can't just be allowed to go everywhere and do anything. And if when they do, you gotta take them to a position, or what I would do is when my dog is out of place or out of position, I'll take them back to where they're supposed to be in a designated area, right? And it's like non-negotiable. Like we're not jumping up because remember, we're trying to keep things clean. And the dogs is outside in the dirt, and they, we don't want them jumping on people and transmitting germs. I don't want to be all dirty with dog hair all the time. You know what I mean? If it's smelling like a dog, it's just not all the time. Not all the time. And when I say just be cool, don't jump up on me or whatever, that's just me. But it's other things not nowhere near. Right. Thank you, brother. Definitely. Enhance your relationship, and that's just me. But you're gonna have times, you're gonna have places, you're gonna have situations where you're trying to get out the door, and you might not want to go with dog hair. You might not want to go with a scent of dogs, a little bit of dog odor. Not everywhere, okay? So I mean, we're gonna enhance our relationship. This is gonna make you a better person because it's gonna relieve stress. Because this Borbo ownership can be stressful, right? One of the biggest things that a Borbo will do is they will play on you. All right. Now, what do I mean when I say they'll play? Well, a Borbo will do stuff to make you do stuff. All right. And I'm gonna give you a great example. You lock puppy down in crate, and then the puppy is protesting. He wasn't ready to go. So what the puppy gonna do? He gonna sit in the crate and bark and bark and bark. And every time you turn around, tell it be quiet. He'll be quiet for a second, and then he turns around, and then as soon as you turn back around, he bark and bark and bark. Excuse me, you tell the dog to be quiet, he turns and bark and bark and bark. Every time you turn away, the dog is not obedient. You don't understand why. You're telling him to be quiet. He's quiet when you, but see, the thing with a dog, what the Boer does, he does any attention from you for him, any attention for the Boer, where you're showing him eye contact, vocal, you're giving him any type of energy, it's a victory. So think about being locked up in a punishment, locked up on punishment where you can't come out your room. You might start looking out the window, and then you see your friends walking down the street, and it's like, yo, what's up? And they come back and holler. Every time you see them, if they come back and holler, every time they see them and you locked up on punishment, you're going to do that because it's giving you some attention, some social, it's relieving boredom. You want to be a part of the ongoings of the world. You got a purpose. So you got to give your dog a purpose. How are you going to give your dog a purpose? Through these commands, through these exercises, through this discipline, through this training. When they say the Boerboel is not for the first time owner, this is what they're talking about. You have to be able to understand how to communicate with a dog, understand dog language, be able to strictly enforce rules and regulations. Because if you don't, the dog is going to overtake you. And remember in that situation where the lady was backing up because the dog was growling. That's an example of a lack of boundaries. There's certain things that's going to have severe consequences if you do that, right? We got different levels of infractions. Just like in life, you got misdemeanor 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the highest. Then you go all the way up. Same thing with the felonies, right? So misdemeanor is not that much, it's not a felony is a serious offense, right? It's something that's, you become a felon, right? So some of y'all got felony dogs. Some of y'all dogs are felons. And y'all letting them get in the way with their serial felons, right? And what'll end up happening is they'll get took for life if they make the wrong move. If they'll get their life, and it does happen. And you're never going to be the same. It's going to be very traumatic. I've had situations where it's happened. I'm not going to sit up and act like one of my dogs is incapable of doing it. It has to do with the owner, your ability to communicate to the dog and treat it with the respect that it deserves as a dog. Okay? I'm not going to play with you, board buddies. I'm going to give it to you straight, not late. I'm not going to fake you out. I'm going to tell you the best that I know so you can go farther in your relationship with your dog. If you establish these routines, dog is a creature of habit. If you establish these routines, these rituals of training where you exercise the dog's mind, physical activity where you're exercising the dog's body, followed by periods of recovery, relaxation, rest, and praise, you're going to have a great relationship with your dog because you are meeting all of its mental requirements to remain stable. And it's not something it don't take a whole lot of commitment. What it does take is dedication and consistency. If you're not willing to give, if you're not willing to sacrifice dedication and consistency for the sake of having a great relationship with your dog, you should not get one. If you don't have time, if you're looking at the dog as a means of making a couple in mind, and that's your only motivation for having a dog, you got the wrong objective. You should pursue something else. No matter what you do in life, You can't expect no more than you're willing to give. I want you to understand you're going to have to work when you get a dog if you want to get paid. You can't expect to get out what you're not willing to put in. So you got to be willing to give up. Time is money. Time is the resource that you in exchange for your pay. That's what you're giving. That's where the pay comes in from selling puppies. It's not so much about what a dog costs, because the cost is really, it's not as it's I don't want to say that it's insignificant, but the true cost associated with dogs is the time that you spend. Right? You're never gonna get this time back. I'm gonna always get some money. I'm gonna always have fun. I'm not always I don't always have time. And time, we got to be very conscientious of how we spend it, because we only got so much. All of us is on borrowed time, is on a limited time share. You got a limited time share. So be wise and conscious of what you do. I don't want this to be a headache for you. So I'm going to give you some information, knowledge, tools you can use, enhance your relationship and your ability to produce. You're going to be able to have a better relationship if you do. You don't have to do what I do, but this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. It's other ways that it can be done. But through effective training, mental, you got to get at that dog's mind. You got to give him some tasks. You got to give him some chores. You got to give him some commands, some training. You got to address the mental capacity of the Boerboel. The Boerboel has a very high mental capacity, or should. They are very intelligent inside the Boerboel family. You know how ours is. Then you have physical demands. Remember, we got a powerful dog. That was not created to sit up in the crate. The power wasn't created to be crated. Can you dig it? You have to get your dog. All of the muscles need to be active. And here we go again. The power wasn't created to be crated. You got to activate it. Now, write that down and put it in your game. What's going on, Miss Love and Peace? Do not waste your time. You definitely not going to get it back. You only got one life to live. So make the most of it. When I say this, I mean it. And I'm giving it to you from the bottom of my heart. When you spend time, the way you spend your time, that's what you're being compensated for. Commanding, because remember, and then it's also the value that you're establishing when you're investing this time into the dog. The value that it creates is transferable, and it's going to save somebody else's time. It's going to make somebody else's time more valuable. It's going to make somebody else's time more pleasurable, because you have invested your time into it. So that's where the value is established. So that's what you're selling, is really your time and your energy. And see, so what happens is you got the lazy breeder, you got the fake breeder, you got profit chasing breeder, right? You got the slime ball breeder. I don't want to get off into no name calling. I'm sorry, y'all, because that's just, I'm sorry. Sometimes my heart gets into it, and I feel some type of way about these people that do wrong to dogs, defenseless animals that need us, that's dependent on us, that would do anything for us. I feel like that's just dirty. But we're gonna keep this positive and uplifting and motivated. When you have a dog, you should treat it and give it the respect that it deserves. Right? When you spend your time with the dog, you're gonna have a great relationship. And you're gonna feel better. It's gonna release. This is my release. I get out there on that bike and I ride that bike. I pedal, that wind blowing across my face. I feel like the air conditioning on me. And I got my dog running, and he pat, 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 pat. And it takes me back to childhood. And at that moment, I'm like 13 again. And I get to go there all the time with my dog. It makes me a better person. And I don't know who I would be. I could be mean, and you know what I'm saying. If I was depending on things, and if I was depending on people, but the dog is there for me, and he reliable and relatable, because we both got this thing where, you know, I want to do for you, you want to do for me, and we're gonna do for each other, and we're gonna have a for relationship. So when you have a dog, you know, if you honor that and you give it the time that it deserves, you can expect the greatest that life have to offer that the dog can give you. Right? You can say, yeah, give me 20,000, man. This, you see what it's doing for me? You want to get off them pills? Don't you want to feel good all the time? Don't you want to have, no matter what? See, like I'm like this with mine. I got my dog, I got my family. I'm cool. We got food, we good, because everything else is extra. I got a place to stay, I got a place to lay. Everything else is extra. If you value the simple things in life, that's why, you know, people be feeling like they done lost it. I had never had nothing. So I came with nothing. I started with nothing. And then when I leave, I'm gonna go with nothing. All of this stuff is temporary. You know what matters? The memories and the moments. So you take that time and then spend it wisely, boy, buddies. You make the most of your time with your dogs, and then you're gonna reap the benefits. But you gotta make sure that you do it in a way that is natural and respected to the creature that it is. You gotta treat a dog like a dog. So, you know, I'm not gonna vilify, crucify people for loving their dogs and treating them, you know, the way that we expect. But I just want you to know that you gotta, it's actually disservice. Now you might be able to get away with that with a lot of the smaller dogs. But when you get into these big, powerful dogs, you don't want the dog to feel like you don't want the dog, you don't want the dog to feel like you don't want the dog to feel like it can it needs to protect you. You don't want the dog to feel like you're not capable of or worthy of leadership. You're not strong enough to lead or protect the pack. So I got to step up and protect you. This is the dog talking now. I'm the dog. Mommy is so nice and so caring and so loving. I love her to death. She's a sweetheart, and it's a dangerous world, and she don't know how bad it can be. Let me step up and do my let me step up and protect mom, because if I don't, she could get hurt. Now you got a dog taking charge. He gonna try to check stuff and wreck stuff. He gonna try to address stuff with his what? With his mouth, with his teeth. That's the way that he was taught from infantry. That's the way he was from the baby. We got this one. We got some questions, comments. Time. Once you're gone, you can't get it back for your time. Why do not let people waste? Say, Bobby. TJ say, hey, Auntie, what's going on? How you doing today? What age? Thank you, brother. Hurricane Board will say, what age do you recommend off-leash bite work with puppies? Okay, so what I recommend is just the natural progression with we're gonna take some questions now, board buddies. I mean, I think I kind of summed it up for the most part. I'm gonna recap when I get ready to finish. But what I'm saying, I'm gonna answer some questions. He says, Hurricane Borbos says, what age would you recommend off-leash bite work with puppies? Okay, what I recommend is simulating the natural with the dogs. Okay, what does that mean? Simulating the natural. So you don't necessarily have to do bite work. All right, and let's get away from that term of bite work, because I think that it can be misassociated or misinterpreted with protection training where the dog is on a sleeve. Let's call this prey drive building. Okay, so what I like to do is prey drive, build prey drive. What's going on, family? when you building prey drive, the way that is done is by simulating the prey. So the dog and you got to remember nature. You got two ways of being, and this is really life. You're either the predator or the prey, right? And prey animals behave a certain way, predators behave a certain way. So you're going to take toys like this or something, and you're going to maybe put it on a string and simulate, oh, bicycle. Bicycle work. Well, it depends on the puppy. But let me just finish this point, because it's, we talked about, oh, it does say bike work with puppies. I say bike. I said bike work. My fault. I'm moving too fast. But hold on. My fault. Yeah, I was okay. So he said bike work, bite. But yeah, you can build prey by throwing something like this on a string, and then you're gonna play tug of war. Let the dog chase it. When he catches it, then we're gonna get into the bite and fight, drive, and that's, you don't need to do no more than that with Borbles. But he said bike work. So what I say, you gotta monitor your puppy. You can start as early as, three 3 months, 12 weeks, 13 weeks, 14 weeks, but it cannot be work. It's got to be more like a play. You want to make it fun. You want to make it a good time for the dog. You want to make it where you take your dog and you watching it is observation. You measuring, you're noting the time, you're noting the distance. You're going to take the dog, and then you don't want to exhaust a puppy. So when I say exhaust, that means you don't want that tail dragging down. You don't want that tail, where the dog has to recover, go through an intense recovery. So you just want to mildly, let's say you don't want to fatigue, but you can't exhaust. You don't want to fatigue the puppy though, because you do want to spend all of the energies. What I mean by when I say exhaust, but you don't want to, even a puppy, depending on the age, you can't do it too often. You can't really work a puppy out. You can only play, if that makes sense. So when we get off into work in my mind means we're going to schedule. We got a time. We got a specific amount of time that we're trying to get something done in. We're trying to cover a certain distance. We're trying to get a certain in a certain speed. When we're talking about play, you can begin play. You can start to, get busy with the dog. Oh, Auntie Jan be coming through. Auntie Jan, I told you don't have to do that. Thank you so much, Auntie Jan. But when you get off into the bite work or play, you can start that at any age. And that's just the puppy getting comfortable, chasing you on the bike. You want to get the dog interacting with the environment. So remember, every time that we're, impacting the concrete, impacting the pavement, impacting the ground, that's building up muscle, that's building up the bone, that's enhancing the bone, and that's thickening the bone, that's making the bone strong. When the dog just sitting in the crate, it's turning into mush. So all of that running around, that's why it's important to give Borbles room, puppies especially. Get off into the bike. Just remember, here's the important points when you're talking about biking with the dog. You're going to have to go back to the house. So don't go too far, especially with a puppy, because you might end up calling for a rescue wagon or calling for some help. not be none available, and that's a tough thing to have to walk with, carry your dog all the way back and the bike. Be very mindful because you could also heat stroke a dog. Auntie Jan says protect the paws and nose, especially where you at down there in Florida. A good rub down after a long exercise session. Great points, Auntie. You want to do that rub down you want to do that rub down. Why? What is the rub down? The rub down is the relaxation that is going to relieve the pain. And then this is enhancing the bond. Okay, so we're going to enhance the bond. We want to give the dog something to look forward to after they accomplish. We picked this shut in the bite. He got to know, first of all, dogs love to run, so he's gonna have a great time on the bike. When you see that bike, you want him to be excited, right? You want him to be looking forward to that. Remember, we, as the leader, are in control of all things good. So the bike is a time for us to release energy. It's recreation time. It's time for us to bond. The dog is looking forward to this. It's a part of our regular routine. Afterwards, we don't want it to be all about us. We want to make sure that the dog, because that's what we like to do, want to run the dog. We want to make sure that the dog has something to look forward to, and that's going to be that 5 minutes of praise afterwards. That is so monumental to a dog. The fact that you are giving it your undivided attention. You are like the greatest person on earth, and you like Michael Jordan, whoever your favorite celebrity or singer, or whatever, president, whoever you like and love, that person to the dog. And when you get there and hug the dog, and don't hug the dog. We just talked about that. When you rub your dog and give it that 5 minutes, it might even be acceptable. It's never acceptable. Don't hug your dog. Rub your dog. Rub your dog. I don't do the hug thing. Rub your dog. Auntie says it also releases muscle enzymes built up from exercise, which is true. It's going to help your dog cool and wind down. Look at any of the sporting dog guys. When they're doing the keeps, the rub down is very important. Afterwards, you want to rub them down. So you want to do that with your dog, and you giving them something to look forward to. You got the best time of your life to look forward to. And this is me speaking as a dog. I'm looking forward to getting rubbed down when I get done with my work. So you give the dog that. We're buddies. It's 9 o'clock. Oh, it's 8 o'clock on the dot. If we got any more questions, if not, I'm going to pull off and get off into something. But I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all picked up some great information. That was my goal. If y'all have any more questions before I go, I want to leave y'all with this. Just to recap. Biggest guard dog. Why is it more magnified when it comes to a guard dog? Well, because we tend to be guard dogs when I'm speaking and say we. Because I represent the Borbal, which is the ultimate family guard dog. When we speaking on a Borbal, why does it much love, y'all? Godspeed, bro. Love you too, Auntie. I'm definitely on my best behavior. Let me finish the recap of what I want to make sure that we drive home these very important points, though. Why does it apply more to the Borbal? Why is it something that because we just saw somebody get bit, and then as I did my research and my homework, I saw multiple cases of the same bite, the same incident. I see people gravitating towards the Borbal. A lot of people on my page ladies commenting. The dog is interested, but it's not a teddy bear. All right, it's not a teddy bear. It is a bear, and it can be a grizzly. But you don't want to treat your dog. Biggest mistake you could possibly make with a guard dog. Treating your dog with human emotions. Anthropomorphism. That's the name of it scientifically. You want to look it up. ANTHROPOMORPH. Let me see. ANTOO. Oh no. But I was gonna comment on there. Thank you, brother. ANTHROP. Anthropomorphism. There you go. Anthropomorphism. I put it in the chat. I think that's how you spell it. But well, yeah. You said I did a video talking about breeders. Can I speak on it? Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I'm unregulated, ungoverned. I'm my own man, and I stand on my own. And these breeders, they don't like that. And then, so they hate. But at the end of the day, they dogs can't compete. And that's why I'm still riding. But yeah, it's nothing but hate. When you're big and you get into it and you out there highly visible, you're gonna have some haters. And that's really what it boils down to. But they like fleas to me. You feel me? Fleas. And I ain't got time really. I'm busy on the grind. But when we ever do meet, we will see. And then I'm gonna just keep putting it in their face. Exotic Bourbon family. What it say? Much love, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Treat your dog like a dog. That's the proper way to treat it. Don't mistreat your dog and treat it like a human, because that is mistreating.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you got a deal run up. Hogan, Goldman, old school, young jam.